have friends here. We have friends here. Hello, everyone. Welcome, Mystery Pinball Theater 3000. On a Monday, I'm starting to do these Monday streams. Last time it was from the Pinball Museum in Alameda, which What's up, friends? What's up, Rick? Vote. Can I see this? It doesn't work, Terry. Not right now. Only Fridays. You know that only Fridays. I hope to be streaming out of the Pinball Museum in Alameda at least once a month on Mondays. So there's that. Today, we have a special, wonderful little chat we're going to have with the development team of Visual Pinball Engine. Thank you, Zantari, for putting this together, because if it wasn't for Zantari, this would not be happening right now, ladies and gentlemen. Cool, JSM and Pandeli are here. Let us move to, let's see, how does streaming work, Manu? Here we go. As you can tell, I have Ripley's Believe It or Not set up. Quick plug, tomorrow at this time, not at this time, but tomorrow on the regular stream at 8 o'clock, I will be battling Flipstream. It's going to be physical versus visual VPE on Ripley's Believe It or Not. So Flipstream will be playing a physical Ripley's. I will be playing the virtual Ripley's, and we will be battling to the death here on Mystery Pinball Theater 3000. That's 8 p.m. Pacific. But without further ado, I think I have some friends with me, ladies and gentlemen. We have the Visual Pinball Engine team, and we're going to talk a little bit about the development of that and stuff like that. So we have, hopefully I have JSM. Are you there?
Yes, I am. Hello. Thank you very much for having me.
Nice. And Freezy, the one and only Freezy. How are you doing, bud?
Hey, I'm fine, thanks. How are you?
I'm feeling good because I'm talking to you guys. Are you not entertained? Yes, Ken Swift. We are entertained. And did we get Pandeli back, or is Pandeli still gone?
I think it's still gone.
Oh no. So we had Pandeli for a moment, and during the technical run, we lost Pandeli. Pandeli's got the goods too, because Pandeli's got the some visuals that you guys are definitely going to want to see. So hopefully they'll be able to jump back in and see. But Freezy sounds way deeper in voice than I pictured.
Attention, you new.
What's happening?
Incoming host to the Mystery Pinball Theater. Attention, you new. Incoming host to the Mystery Pinball Theater.
Wow, so Pinbot has lost her mind. I'm not getting, am I getting hosted? Okay, thank you, Pinbot. Pinbot, status report.
Sorry, I was busy watching Dead Flip.
I usually get that from Pinbot. So guys, Visual Pinball. So first thing I want to do is say thank you both, or hopefully when Pandeli comes in, for joining us. Chat, they are also in the chat. So yeah, so JSM just said what's up. What's up, Riku? Freezy, you are Phree, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to respond, but I need to log first.
Oh, okay. You got it. Sorry, I hosted. I didn't think it was going to go crazy. No, it's Paladin Arcade. It's all good. It's all good. I'm never sad when someone hosts us. So if you have questions, throw them in chat. I have a few questions first. It's my show. Y'all just chill. Riku, thank you so much. Terry, no one is touching your voice. Yes, the dulcet tones of Terry Red. Thank you for joining me, everyone. But I want to first ask Freezy some questions, because here's the deal. Here's the thing. Freezy, so the first time I heard about Freezy at all was there's a little thing called the DMD extension.
Yeah.
What is that, and why did you create it?
Well, I bought PinDMD 3, and it worked only for a bunch of games. And I wanted to make it work for everything. So for FX, for at the time there was Pinball Arcade, if you guys remember. I think it still exists, but it's kind of kind of stopped developing it. And well, then I looked at how could I drive that thing, and started writing a driver. Started by capturing the DMD from the software and then trying to output it somehow to the DMD. And that was the very first version. And then I kind of had to create a virtual DMD because I'm not developing on the CAD. I mean, I need to visualize it somehow. So I wrote a really basic shader that like draws dots. And apparently many people preferred that to the VPM DMD rendering. So it became a thing for non-DMD users as well. And then at some point, Lucky One approached me about coloring, and he was like doing that for mainly the hardware physical pin community. But if you want to color stuff, you need people coloring stuff. Yeah. And the virtual community is a big community and with very talented people. So he hoped to establish some kind of coloring scene, I guess, in which having coloring on virtual caps would be necessary. So I started implementing that as well, and then they came other drivers on other software or other programs. There was Pro Pinball as well, and a few other things. And then, well, I think like 3 or 4 years ago, we basically went into maintenance mode. I started other things, and I was just keeping it alive, basically.
Yeah. Just so that people who are not super familiar with exactly what we're talking about, imagine a world where your DMD, this thing right here, see this, and this is kind of just using a color palette. I think all the VPXers in here know this is just a color palette. It's not really a color DMD thing. Every virtual pinball like system that we use displays the dot matrix display differently. And what freezy did was make a unified system to where all of the virtual DMDs kind of render through, right? So it's kind of like a man in the middle. Would you say that, freezy?
Yeah, sure.
Right.
You could call it middleware.
Middleware.
Basically.
The game renders to its own thing, and in freezy software figures it out and displays it in a uniformed way with dots and pretty things. And there's even there's alphanumeric displays that look beautiful in games like Funhouse and stuff like that. So his software allows us to have one spot where DMD displays and then run multiple games. So FX3 works with this. Future Pinball works with this. Visual Pinball works with this. So can I ask you if it's necessary to use DMD extensions for the new Visual Pinball Engine?
Well, it's probably going to be integrated somehow. But I mean, currently it's really like it's a whole 3D scene, and the DMD is just like a texture. And at some point, you probably want to render it on a different screen or on a real DMD, and it'll somehow integrate with it. But if that's the case, it's probably going to be shipped with it directly, so you don't really have to fiddle with it. Right. Because today it's it's still kind of. I mean, I've created an installer that's supposed to make it a little bit easier to install, but it's still a little bit of a pain, I guess. So with VP, you're supposed to have it more easily available.
Awesome.
That's the plan, at least.
That's the plan. So, did we ever? I don't know if we got Pandeli back yet. Do you see we got Pandeli yet? Not yet.
I don't think so. No.
No, I don't think so. Let's talk a little bit to JSM. JSM, how did you get into development of Visual Pinball Engine, and how'd you get involved in this?
I've been interested in pinball for a long time. I saw an article in Maximum PC on Visual Pinball, and I was like, wow, this is incredible. So
really?
Wow.
I
mean, it was, I still have the issue somewhere. It's a long time ago. So then life kind of got in the way. I have 2 kids and all that, so I kind of took a little break from working on the Visual Pinball machine and all that. But then a couple years ago, I was talking to Freezy, and he reached out, and he was working on a JavaScript web browser version of Visual Pinball, and we just started talking, and I asked if I could help out anywhere, and I had worked on that, and then again he reached out again to me on Visual Pinball Engine, and I've been a developer for forever, since I've been a little kid and all that. So, but I didn't know anything about Unity, and believe it or not, I program like a ton of different languages, but I didn't know any C# or anything. And I was a little nervous, but he kept telling me, no, this is you'll be fine and all that. So I asked him a million questions, and I still ask him a million questions, but I've been fortunate to be able to help out wherever I can. So I like working on the PinMame side of things. So like on the C library we're using for integrating Visual Pinball Engine with PinMame. So we have a library called libpinmame, and so I really enjoy helping out on that. So
that's cool. Yeah, I get it. It's like it's sort of like, I guess Freezy saw that you have a lot of talent, and the rest is pretty much syntax. You know what I mean? Like, even if you're not super familiar with like C# or whatever, but you've coded in a lot of languages, you understand the basics of code structure, so that then you just have to kind of dive into the reference manuals and figure out the syntax. Is that kind of, am I close to where? Yeah. Yep.
And the whole Stack Exchange, it is definitely your friend. So there's stuff out there, you Google for 5 minutes and you can usually find an answer. So
there you go. Yeah, exactly. Terry is so funny. I just learned that C# is pronounced C#. Terry, what have you been calling it? Please tell me you haven't been calling it C#. C number. That's cool. Here he is. You all know that sound. That is the nail buster himself. What's up? I wonder why Nailbuster's the only one who got a sound today. What's up, David? So let's talk a little bit about this new. Oh, everyone's getting this. Okay, so everyone's being nice and quiet. That's why. They want to hear the VPE, guys, so they're not chatting and starting up all the sounds. What's up, the Fishbowl? So you guys see we got the heavy hitters in right now because they want to hear what's going on with VPE. Visual Pinball Engine. Let's talk about Visual Pinball Engine. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, if I get any of this wrong, because I told these guys in the beginning of the chat, talk to me like I'm 6 years old, because you guys know that I'm 6 years old. What's up, Jeff Boyardee? Visual Pinball Engine looks to be the successor to Visual Pinball X, or Visual Pinball 10, but fully written in Unity, like a full ground up start, but backwards compatible to VPX. How are you guys, Freezy, how did you get your head around starting this project? It sounds insurmountable.
Yeah, it is.
All right, good night, everybody.
Yeah, but I would have never started this actually. But the thing was, I think the starter was that I was able to read the VPX format and then basically draw a mesh in the browser. And Jason already mentioned it. We had a different project before VP, which is called VPX JS, which is really a JavaScript port, which sounds silly, but actually browser today have quite good 3D capabilities. So we got it running. We got it running in the browser, and so we had all the rendering stuff, the physics stuff, but I had all done already actually in JavaScript. So what I did was porting it from JavaScript to C#, because the main work, which is like decoupling everything, splitting 5,000 line classes into smaller chunks from the VPX code base, was already done, and like moving it to C# was not as a big thing as the original work. So then we just grabbed the game engine and started importing stuff. It turned out to be not as big as a endeavor as you might think, but mainly because there was already the JavaScript thing before.
Right, there was a lot of work already done. So you're saying you can, so you're at a point where you can now kind of import an old VPX 10, VPX 10 is redundant, but VPX table into the engine that's currently being developed?
Yeah, exactly. So we have like an importer that reads the format and that like translates everything into the Unity format. And then you got a scene, you got a 3D scene as you would be someone who knows Unity is going to be like very comfortable. It's like a scene like everybody would create when working with Unity. So you have a tree hierarchy with all the objects. You can move them around as you want, and you got meshes and everything on disk, so you can update them easily. And then there is the physics part, which was ported as well. And then you basically have like a custom physics engine, which is the VPX physics engine.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask you about. I was going to ask you, are you simply taking... Well, actually, let me do this real quick. Since we don't have Pandeli here right now, Pandeli had a lot of the visuals. I do want to show you guys, if you've probably already seen it, Pinbot, Open Internet.
Well, you're the boss.
So you've probably already seen this. Why is that zoomed like that? That is weird. Is that zoomed? Oh, that's weird. Oh, I know why it's zoomed. This is ridiculous. You've probably already seen some of the stuff that they worked on. Now this is kind of an older. Some of the data in here is a little older, as the guys told me, so it might be a little less accurate. But let me fix this because this is zoomed up in a weird way. Sorry, guys. We're doing it live.
You want me to address some of the questions in?
Yeah.
Chat?
You're starting to get a lot of questions in chat.
So yeah, there was one question about like multi-screen, about Banzai Run. So in Unity, you can like create as many cameras as you want. So the idea, if you have stuff going on on a different playfield or on the backlash or wherever, you could just like route a different camera to a different screen, a different monitor, and then you would have two monitors for playing, right? And if you're in a one screen setup, then you need to think about some kind of camera movement, I guess, so you can like switch between the backlash and the playfield. But it's one 3D world, right? You can everything is going on in one single world, 3D world, and then you can like point your camera wherever you want, and you'll have different settings, playfield cams and backlash cams and so
on. I'm super excited about some of that stuff. The physics. Does Unity come with its own physics, or how does that work? Like you said, you just brought in the VPX physics, or?
Yeah, so Unity has a few physics options. The most common one is PhysX, which is I think developed by NVIDIA. So if you like add standard colliders, that's what it's going to use. But what we're doing is something different. We basically have ported the engine from VPX. So the internal PhysX engine is completely deactivated, and what's running is a different engine. So we have different colliders as well. It's going to be set up a little bit differently, but when you import a VPX file, it should be set up in order to work, basically. And then you can also create everything that you create additionally from the import is going to have its colliders when you enable them. So it should be quite okay. there's probably going to be a few things that we have to fix. Like if you parent something, then you have like different coordinate systems, right? If you have a parent and a child, then the child is attached to the parent. And like if you have a flipper, usually if you have custom flippers, what you would do in VPX, you would just create a primitive with the flipper, and then you just have a timer that animates it along with the original flipper. So it just looks like a better flipper if you want.
Right.
But if you go deeper, like if you attach different objects to that and they move, they're not going to collide correctly. So we're going to figure out a way to make sure people don't get confused.
Wow. Here, I want to show a little bit of. I know these are old. Like I said, guys, these are older videos and stuff. There's a lot of work being done to VPE in the VPE Discord. But this is kind of an example of. This is actually. So, what is this we're looking at right now, freezy?
Yeah, this is just one of the contributors who likes to play with Unity, and he made this video. It's completely real time, of course, and it just put it into a room and made the camera fly over it. But this is like over a year old, I think. Yeah. So if you go to the VP Universe thread, I've posted another one recently from Pandeli, who wanted to. I think he wanted to show it live.
Oh, okay.
Today, but...
Here, throw that in. Is that in the Zoom chat or is that in the Discord chat?
If you just type VPE WIEP, you'll find it. Google will find it.
VPE.
And then work in progress WIP.
This will be fun.
There you have it.
Thank God there's.
It's the shortest way I found to access my thread. It's 6-letter search. Okay, so if you go to the last page, then you have the very last
6 page. Oh wow, is this it?
No.
Keep going.
Yeah.
Woo!
This one.
Woo!
So this is like, so we're rebuilding the Terminator table, right? And we're rebuilding it with NFuzzy, and we have all the resources in high resolution, and now we're basically setting up playfield. It's really at the beginning, but what you see is 3D inserts. You see some refraction around the ramp. You see, of course, reflections all over the place. What you're seeing is the environment, the environment texture around,
right,
which is reflected in the playfield.
Kind of the world map.
In the bumper caps, you have refraction as well, and there are a few things like if you look closely, one of the caps will be like hidden if the camera goes over the ramp. That's because there's just one refraction pass, meaning that Unity simulates refraction in it takes all the objects that are refracted and looks what's behind them, and then applies the algorithm of the light passing through it. And if there's another one that is refracted, then it just won't render it currently. So we need to fix that.
Go ahead.
I redrew the plastics over there. That was my work this week. Redrawing the plastics of the hands in Illustrator. So we're slowly progressing, but
there are freaking scratches in the plastic. That is ridiculous.
And you can do all kind of stuff with detail maps and normal maps and depth maps.
That's VP Fiends coming in loud. Hey JSM, what kind of things are you kicking around in the code base of the Visual Pinball Engine currently?
I've been working on an old Gottlieb table. I had a friend that actually asked me to work on a machine to fix it all up. So it was I think it was from 1985. Table. Yeah, a real machine.
Which one?
It's Premier Rock. So I think it's like 1985, but they had like Rock and Rock Encore, same machine,
Right.
just a different ROM and all that. But when he gave me the machine to start working on, like the driver board, everything was blown out of it. So none of the coils and all that stuff worked. But anyway, so we spent like 2 months and got that going. And then all of a sudden I realized that like, this is really like, this is helpful. I have the machine here at my house, and, you know, I'm working on PinMame and, you know, trying to work on this. So, you know, while they're working on T2, I've been kind of working on that. And, you know, it's helpful because, you know, I had my wife out in the garage the other day with me. Like, we're like, you know, checking out the GI lights when, you know, like lamp 1 is enabled, you know, and, you know, she's writing everything down on a piece of paper and all that. So, you know, and that all started with the table that, you know, JP Salas that I found. And so I pulled that table in and just have been slowly going through making everything, you know, work. And again, asking freezy 1,000 questions. So like yesterday, got slingshots working. And, you know, another thing too is, I'm like, I'm an Apple guy. I don't dislike Windows or anything like that. So I don't want to turn into any kind of thinger, but, you know, like, you know, Visual Pinball, like, is never been on a Mac before, or, you know, Linux without using Wine or something. And, you know, I really want to see it be everywhere. So like, I've spent I put a lot of time into just working on the Mac side of things to make sure it all works. So, yeah, I spent some time too getting it to, which will be coming up in a commit soon, but getting it to be, you know, native M1. So, ARM64. So it's pretty exciting because finally actually be able to, you know, do stuff on the Mac with this. So, so yeah, that's kind of the stuff I've been working on. So.
You guys, you guys, chat. You heard that, right? That's insane. That is insane. We have a little bit of a holy war happening in the chat right now, where they're screaming either backwards compatibility yes or no. You guys are shooting for backwards compatibility. Yes. Freezy?
Well, it depends on how you define it. So what you currently can do is like, you can import a table and then you can like do stuff. I don't know, move stuff around, add stuff, like add a light, add a primitive, and you see it in 3D. You can place it in 3D and everything, and then you can export it back to VPX. Right. So in that sense, it's backwards compatible. But you won't be able to just import a game and like play it right away.
Right.
You're gonna need to set up, like you need to connect it to the ROM correctly, and we provide UI tools for that. So you have like you have a coil manager, you have a switch manager, you have the same thing for lamps and stuff, and you can basically visually hook them up. And some have even presets where you can like tries to automatically guess.
Yeah.
How to do it, because usually people name their lamps like they're named in the manual, so we can like guess a lot of things, and all the components, the mechs, the mechanisms and all that, we provide components for that. So you can like really like visually put a mech component on the cannon, for instance, and you just hook them up to the right switches and it should work. So it's a different approach. You're in a way you're a little bit less flexible. But it's a lot more user-friendly, so you don't really need to code. The goal is to have T2 working without a single line of code. Well, without a single line of code in the table. You're going to have a lot of code, of course, in VP, but not in the table itself. And then,
wow. Okay.
And then, of course, you should be able to at least somehow script it, and we're still figuring a way out. There are a few limitations. For instance, if you want to compile for mobile platforms, you're not going to be able to compile scripts in real time on mobile devices. Then the question is, of course, do you want to support mobile devices and all that? But there are a few things to consider if you want to add like code support that is table specific. And we'll see. There's also another possibility, which is use a completely different language, like Python or Lua is often used in game development to a built-in interpreter that launches those scripts. But we'll see how demanding the original tables are, basically. So the first goal is to get EMs working easily. And maybe we can even do it like graphically. Unity has like, they don't call it blueprints like in Unreal Engine, but it's something similar where you can hook up functions also visually. You don't need to write code. And we probably could like provide a few components that do stuff that is pinball specific, and then you just hook them up visually in a graph, which would like provide the game logic for it. But I don't know EMs very well. I'm not sure if that's doable or if it doesn't get too complicated. If you then have a huge canvas of hundreds of nodes, that wouldn't be really optimal either. So we'll see. And there's MPF, of course, the Mission Pinball Framework, which is used in the homebrew community.
Right.
And we already started integrating with them. So if you write your game logic in MPF, then chances are you can just run them in BP.
So if I'm not mistaken, if I kind of maybe make a summary of what you said, it sounds to me like you guys are shooting for an engine that you can literally just throw parts on a whitewood and have it flip, and the table author does not have to worry about creating these custom,
Then we really
things.
focus on like the creator experience, and we're spending most of the time on it, to be honest, because just creating a table that works in Unity isn't like difficult. You just code it and that's it. But if you want to have tooling that allows you to do it in a like generic way, so it can be reused in other games, it's a little bit more of an effort. But that's our goal, to have like the creator experience is really important.
I'm gonna press play on this one more time so people who just showed up in the chat can take a look at this. And at the same time, I'm gonna I think I can answer a question for you that showed up in the chat. VR capable? Yes, no? I would say yes because it's Unity. What do you guys say?
Capable of what?
Of just playing it in VR. Like, can you? Play
VR, yeah, of course, yeah. Every time I have my VR headset on, I'm like, I should just install the XR kit in Unity and just run it to see how it looks. I have never seen it actually in VR, but I have a headset and no doubt it'll be in VR as well. That's
There you go.
Attention. Incoming raid to the Pinball Theater.
I'm getting rated by... Who's rating? Pinballers with 9 viewers, welcome to the stream. We are talking with the developers. We're talking with JSM, freezy, and we lost Pandeli, unfortunately, and they have not come back. About the new Visual Pinball Engine that's being in development to kind of move forward in the world of visual pinball. The actual application of visual pinball. Now the visual pinball application was created how many years ago? Like what you're seeing right now. Here, I'm gonna close this.
Sure.
This thing right here. This
it was open source in 2000, I think.
Open sourced in 2000. Okay.
I think so, yeah. But so it was created before, and then it was yeah.
So this guy right here, as you guys see right now, a lot of you are playing visual pinball around 20 years ago. Yeah, Successor is around 20 years ago. This is aging technology now at this point. We are...
Sorry to interrupt, but it's really, really well maintained. Seriously, props to Toxin Fuzzle because they're doing such an amazing job in maintaining it and adding new stuff and listening to the community. And without them, it wouldn't be at all what it is today.
I 100% agree with you. My point wasn't to decrimate.
No, of course, sorry.
Yeah, no. It wasn't to decrimate what this is, because without this we wouldn't be talking right now. But it's very, let's put it this way, it's very ambitious for what it's actually trying to do now. And the technology has kind of moved to a place where, the fact that I can see a table from VPX in VR is insane to me. Because all the objects and stuff are, built of real 3D objects. But the move from, I think the issue is that it's the Visual Basic scripting language, which
there will be no VPS in VP. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Sorry if that wasn't enough clear before, but
no, I
have such a pain to read and to write, and it's not typed. Coming from mainly typed languages, where basically you hit like spacebar or something, and then it just autocomplete because it knows the type and knows how to continue. Yeah. And
so So is the goal, like you did mention a couple of languages? I know we're talking about some lofty goals and stuff like that, and I'm sure if anybody can get it done, the three of you can definitely do it. If I'm a Python developer, I maybe should be able to use VPE, and I can use my own IDE, open up Python, and write something to a VPE developed table. Was that like the goal, or?
Well, not today, not like that, because you need to like bridge it somehow. You need to write an API, and you need to like document it and everything.
Right.
So it's quite an effort to integrate a different language, and you need also to be able to compile it runtime and like handle errors correctly and all that stuff.
Right.
So it's not a trivial task, but yeah, it could be possible. It's doable to integrate third party languages, and if Python is something that it's the most common or most used language in the world.
I'm just using it as an example. Yeah.
According to Stack Overflow, anyway, but that would be a possibility as well.
Cool. We have a ton of people in chat, and I'm hoping I'm not stepping on anybody's toes. If you guys have questions, let's see.
Yeah, I'm just gonna. Installation. So currently we don't have actually anything to install because we don't have a player. So currently, if you work on a project, you basically build it and then you just run it, so it's an executable. But the goal is because if you provide executables, nobody can read them. You can't just take an executable because it's binary and like decompile it into the table that it was before. So what you plan to do is to create some kind of in-between format where you have one part is like the runtime binary and the other part is like the authoring part that you can load back into Unity and make changes, right? Because that's one of the big things in the ecosystem from Visual Pinball and also Future Pinball. Everything that you can play, you can edit. And that's quite important because you want to learn also from other tables, and you maybe even want to like take stuff from other tables, and if you can't do that, then there's a problem. So there's going to be a player app that will load those files and play them. And the player app will be easy to install, and then you just have to, like in VPX, you basically drop a table file into a folder, and that's it. That's the plan, at least. So I'm not sure how that's doable because there are a few things that are different, like there are platform specific things. Like if you compile a Unity project for a mobile phone, it's different build than for desktop, right?
Right.
So if you want to have some kind of unified system, it's going to be not as efficient, and you have to do it yourself. So we have to figure out if you want to do that, or if you want to just say, okay, now you can build it for Windows or for Mac or whatever, and see how that works.
I think it's. I mean, you guys are going above and beyond the Call of Duty here with the ability for you to develop tables on a Mac too. And I think that will really open up a huge audience of table authors who, like JSM said,
they
don't hate Windows, but
yep.
I'm a Mac guy myself. I'm a Windows guy when I'm playing. when I'm doing all my, I run a video production company and I run everything Premiere, DaVinci Resolve, everything in Mac, so I get it.
Yeah, you know, right now, prior to the M1, like it Unity doesn't run very well on the Mac. And
Right.
with this latest release that we just started going to, the 2021.2, Unity has a weird numbering scheme or whatever, but their latest stuff that they just put in tech release, like it finally runs good. Like it's exciting actually, like for dealing with it for so long where it's just runs terrible. They've really been putting a lot of work to it, so it's good to see that it might be a viable platform someday. So
I'm sorry, I'm laughing at Sixto. We need some more Mac users because we need a few more people who can draw pretty pictures in VFX. Just so everyone knows, once again, we're all talking to the Visual Pinball Engine developers, JSM, freezy. We lost Pandeli. Oh my God, Pandeli, where are you? We need you to come back if you can. I hope everything's okay. This right here, what you're looking at, this is Visual Pinball X, or Visual Pinball 10, as some people say. And these tables are, somewhat created in 3D, and they're all scripted in Visual Basic Scripting? Is that what that stands for?
I think so, yeah.
VBS. Yeah.
Visual Basic Script.
Visual Basic Script. And as the Fishbowl knows, it could be a bit of a beast to to fully, yeah, you know what I'm talking about, the Fishbowl. Yeah. So the Visual Pinball Engine team is working on. Here's why I think it's exciting, because I mean you've got guys like Jack Danger, who literally said at Expo they did a session about the new Jurassic Park home pin that Jack designed, and someone asked, "Hey, how'd you get into designing?" He says, "I loaded up Visual Pinball," and he mapped out the entire game in Visual Pinball, and he had it somewhat flipping in Visual Pinball, and then moved over to actual physical table at Stern, for freak's sake. What you guys are doing right now is you're moving that so far ahead in the paradigm where a creator, like even me, I could probably go into VPE and populate a whitewood.
Yeah,
and
sure.
Just get some stuff flipping, right?
Yeah, and what's cool is, I mean, it's a huge ecosystem, and you're gonna find a ton of tutorials about Unity. It's a really well documented. It's a huge community. There's like basic beginner stuff until pro stuff, and it's really easy to find yourself there. So I didn't know Unity at all when I started. So yeah, not even game development in general. So and it was quite easy for me to get started and get something done. And I think that's also a big advantage of using a game engine that is as popular as Unity is.
Yeah, I think some people are wondering, do I need to install, like the end goal of this is, do I need to install Unity? Do I need to buy a license for Unity? What do I need to get this, ultimate?
Well, if you want to create tables, you're gonna need the Unity editor, because we're basically extending the editor to make use of all the framework basically. And Unity is there are different like plans for Unity, and I think if you make less than 100K per year, it's completely free. So you just need to register to download it, and then you're good. Now, if you want to just play tables, you just download the player. That's it. That doesn't exist yet, but yeah. So that's the idea. You just download the player, and then you just copy your table into your table folder, and then you just play them. You don't need Unity like the editor and stuff.
Right. I hope that helped Rodney123. Terry is helping out a lot in the chat right now. Terry, thank you so much. Terry has some inside knowledge.
Thanks. So yeah, Pinman works on Android, I think, and on iOS as well, but it's quite demanding. So I'm not sure if you're gonna get like a fluid experience with on Android, but like platform-wise, it should work.
All right. Not authority, just passing on what.
And no, we don't have I don't have a background in graphics frameworks. That's Pandeli's. That's Pandeli's part. He's a VFX lead in a big gaming company, and I'm really glad he's here. He's doing like magic on everything that is graphics related, and it does stuff in minutes that would take me weeks to figure out. So it's awesome to have him on the team, but it's unfortunately he's not connected anymore.
Yeah, that really sucks because guys, trust me, we had him here in the pre-show, and I guess we lost him. And we're trying to reach out to him, but that he can join back in. But we'll see. But we're getting close to time now. So what is in the what's in the future? What's in the development cycle right now for someone cut the hard line at the fishbowl?
Yeah, I mean the idea is to get a first playable thing at some point, right? You just don't want to spend years of time in tooling and proof of concepts and everything. So now I really want to get the table going, even if it's without the player, just like a binary build that people can like have a look at, play and report bugs and stuff. So that's what we're currently doing. And then of course it doesn't work like it's supposed to. So at the same time we're fixing bugs, we're adding features to VPE. So it's like a parallel project. So we have the table project, and then at the same time we're adding the features needed to VPE.
Right. So just so I'm clear on that, so there may possibly be sometime in the future just an executable, Terminator 2?
Yeah, I guess that would be my guess. Yes.
Right. That could possibly be flipped around on and stuff.
Yeah,
like
it's
that.
probably
This is. I think Unity needs automatic APIs. Can work. Yes. This is really exciting stuff. I mean, for people like me, who I've been doing this virtual pinball stuff for years. I built this cab. It's got to be 11 years ago. I built this thing, and I've been upgrading and doing things and everything forever and ever and ever. There are a lot of Twitch streamers now who stream visual pinball and just pinball in general. For me, my holy grail. All right, I got freezy, I got JSM and Pandeli right here. My holy grail, which I'm probably not far off from, is to be able to put on my HMD. It's not scary, don't worry. I hear JSM. put on my HMD, and in VR be able to stream with using a playfield camera for the viewers to see, but I can see the playfield in front of me. And all that would do is just be. Yeah. Yeah,
you gotta have a beefy PC for that. But why not?
I'll throw money at it.
I mean, it's just an additional camera. So you have two cameras for your eyes, and then another one above the playfield. That's it. Yeah, it should be doable, but then you have to render 3 times your image. Given the graphics, given the graphics card market today, you're gonna have a really hard time spending, or a really expensive time spending your money on graphics cards. But yeah, I mean theoretically, it shouldn't be a big deal.
Yeah, I mean, for people who don't know, sometimes you'll have because of the technology involved with screens and stuff like that, sometimes the screen will have a little bit of display lag, okay? And one of the things that bothers people who are used to playing physical pinball on a regular basis, one of the things that bothers them the most is the lag between pressing the button, right, and the flipper firing. As you can see right now, I don't know if you can see it, but I'll try and do it. That is little ba-da. there's that barap that you don't normally recognize. Now, if I was downstairs on the junkyard, once I hit that button, bam, it fires the flipper. This is less in other people's setups. Some people have better, faster screens. I have a particularly slow screen because it's from 11 years ago. But when you're in VR, what's inherent in VR is no lag, because you'll get sick if you have lag in VR. So it's pretty much instantaneous when you fire a flipper. So my experience in playing VR and pinball, and virtual pinball, is always better. Time to get Manu an RTX 3090. Yeah, whatever.
Chabdoa from MPF explained this once. Basically, if the lag is constant, you shouldn't be bothered too much with it. If it varies, then it's a pain, because, well, each time you need to readjust. But if the lag is constant, you basically get used to it after a few minutes.
Yeah, and that's true for me. I've learned to adapt. That's why I'm gonna kick Flipstream's ass tomorrow on in this challenge on Ripley's, because I learned to adapt. Go ahead, you were saying.
Yeah, but of course you have 90 hertz instead of 60, and I think the controls are probably optimized as well. In VP, I think there was a question about the flipper lag compensation earlier. So what we do is basically, well, usually if you press the flipper button, it's a switch, right? So there goes a switch event to the pin name. Pin name decides or not to like switch flipper, and then the flipper switches, and it can take a few frames, and it's gonna be laggy. And what we did is basically, what you can do in VP, you can like directly wire stuff. So you can make a wire like between a switch and the lamp, or between a switch and the coil, and then you can mark that wire as dynamic. So if you add a wire between your flipper switch and your flipper coil, and mark it as dynamic, the very first time you flip, you'll have a lag. But then it'll notice that it gets, so VP will notice, because it gets the coil event back from pin name, it'll notice that the connection is established. And from that point on, it'll just flip directly, right, without any lag. And then if pin name will decide at some point to stop flipping, right, the game is over or something, the very first time you flip, it'll still flip, and then it'll notice that there's no coil event back, and then it'll stop flipping. So it's a little bit a compromise between having better like lag and not still being able to play the game. So
wow.
That's what we did for VP. It's quite similar as in VPX. I think they did something similar. It's a flipper lag thing.
Wow.
Which is all done in VBS. So.
Right. Holy smokes, that is crazy. Yeah, fast flips. Oh, so is that what fast flips is all about? Okay.
Yeah, exactly. That's basically the concept of fast flips.
Wow. I'm interested in starting work on EM and VPE. Where should I start? I have the latest. Yeah. So, what do you guys think? Where should people?
Yeah, EM is still going to be hard to start today, because we still don't have any good way to create game logic. We basically have pin name and we have MPF. So if you want to start coding your game in MPF, then that's possible, and you can like test it and everything. But if MPF is, you don't know MPF, it takes a little bit to get into. And if you just want to like transcode your VBS script, then that's not possible today. Mm-hmm. You're gonna have to wait a little bit until we figure out a good way to do it.
Hey, Johnny, what's up?
The best thing you can do is start working on a pin name game, and because you're going to be able to just hook it up in the editor and launch it.
Right.
But, even today in Terminator, we don't have everything working yet, so you might be disappointed still. Need a little bit more time for finishing it.
So guys, I'm really sorry we didn't get Pandeli in here. We have to do this again at some point. Get Pandeli back in here, because they were really excited about being on. For how much time are you guys? Obviously, you guys have day jobs, right? This is a
yes, we do.
This is
and kids.
And kids.
Yep.
This is a bit of a passion project. How much time, JSM? How much time do you spend on this? Maybe do you think per week? And Freezy, how much time? JSM, how much time do you spend? Maybe.
Oh boy. I don't want to get myself in trouble with my wife.
Okay. She's not listening. She's not listening.
No. It's I try to get up early before I start work. I spend like 2 hours, an hour and a half in the morning, and then at the end of the night, probably another 3 hours or whatever, and on the weekends, a couple hours. So I don't know, but I enjoy it. Like even though I program like for my day job, like it's like something like I enjoy doing just for the fun of it. So sitting at the computer for long hours, I guess, doesn't really bother me too much, but may bother other people. But
no, that sounds good.
Yeah,
you gotta enjoy it. Go ahead, Freezy.
It's about the same here. I mean, I don't get up early in the morning, but I have I guess between 8:30 and midnight, I guess.
You don't get up early in the morning. I thought you said you had kids.
No, yeah, I get up early to bring the kids to school, basically, so I don't get to work on anything else. But in the evening, when they're sleeping, I can work on it, and sometimes the weekends as well. But yeah, it's hard to find time. Always doesn't work all the time.
Yeah. Well, I gotta tell you, and the chat, you guys have been awesome in chat. I don't want to step on anything, but we do have to wrap up. And let's see, would it make sense to have an EM editor, creators?
Yeah, that I thought about this as well. Like you would basically redraw the schematics of the EM in Unity, and then it theoretically should work. But I'm not sure how it works 100%. So I need to do some research on that. But that would be a good idea. Yeah, basically rebuild the circuits of the EM machine graphically in the editor, and then. But it might be too much. I don't know. But yeah. Just one last thing. So Board was mentioning the collaboration between the creators and us, and I'm really enjoying it as well. So it's really awesome to have the content provider community like participating in everything and being able to ask questions and getting good answers. It's really enjoyable. I don't feel like I'm alone in a project and I'm just throwing out something into the nature and then I hope that people actually use it. But I'm in constant exchange with the community, which is really nice.
Good grief.
Thank you.
How's everybody doing? All right. Those are my sounds. Those are my wonderful regulars here at the Mystery Pinball Theater 3000 with their sounds. Guys, I got to tell you, all the hard work and effort is greatly appreciated. And I think I can speak for every member of the Visual Pinball community that you guys are true legends and we support you 1000%. In fact, if you guys want to give updates on whatever's going, you got me on Discord now. Let's do it. Let's chat. I want to thank JSM. I want to thank Freezy, and I want to thank Pandeli, even though we lost them. Well, we gotta do it again, guys. Once you guys have another update, how's that sound, JSM, Freezy? How's that sound?
That sounds great. Thank you. That was just fun.
Thanks a lot for having us.
And I gotta say a huge thank you to Zantari79 for, if it wasn't for Zantari79 hitting me up on Discord and saying, hey, I think this is a good idea, we wouldn't be talking to these cats right now. So Zantari, do you have a custom sound? Do you have a sound, Zantari? Do you have a sound? Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes or no? Because if you don't, send me a whisper and we got to get you a sound. You got it. You heard it right here. Zantari gets a custom sound right here on Mystery Pinball Theater 3000. Once again, thank you guys. Thanks everybody to joining the chat today. Very nice. Very cool. This will be going up on YouTube in a few days. So if you missed it, you don't want to watch the VOD on Twitch, feel free to watch it on YouTube. And I'll see you guys. Thank you guys. And I'll see you guys tomorrow, 8 o'clock Pacific time, right here, where I am murdering Flipstream on Ripley's Believe It or Not. Thanks, guys.
Bye.